Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. CCM Origami here. So today I will be showing you guys how to fold an origami flasher originated by Jeremy Shafer Origami. So this is a really cool model. It expands and contracts and I find it really interesting, so I decided to teach it to you guys. So I'll be showing two variations of the model, one by an 8x8 grid and one by a 16x16 grid. So let's get started. So I'm going to begin with a 7x7 sheet of kami, and we're going to fold the 8x8 grid. So fold horizontally in half. And crease sharply. Now we are going to unfold and fold in half again. So this is a fourth. And crease sharply. And we're going to repeat that here. So this is going to create the first fourths of the model. And then you're going to make 4 more folds to turn it into eighths, and then we're going to repeat that on the other side. Okay, unfold, and we're going to fold this line to this middle crease. And crease sharply. Okay, we're going to fold to this line right here. And don't forget to crease sharply. Okay, and we're going to unfold, and we're going to repeat that on this side. So flip the model over and fold this line to this crease. Okay, and crease sharply. Okay, now we are going to fold this line to this crease. Just like that. And crease sharply. Now we have our first eighth, and it looks something like this. And we're going to repeat this on the other side, so vertically, or if you turn the model 90 degrees, horizontally again. So we're going to fold in half, just like this, and crease sharply. Okay, and we are going to unfold and fold it into fourths. So this line to this line. Just like this. And when you have the creases, make sure that you fold on them sharply. Okay, so now we are going to flip the model 180 degrees, I think that is. So basically just like this, and we're going to fold this line to this crease. Just like that. And when you have the fold, make sure to crease sharply. And then unfold. Now we're going to fold it into eighths. So this line lines up with this crease. Just like this. And as always, don't forget to crease sharply. Just like that. Okay, and now unfold, and we're going to fold this line to this crease. Just like that. and crease sharply. Now we have only 2 more folds to make, and we're going to flip the model over. We're going to fold this line to this crease. Okay, just like that, and crease sharply, and unfold, and then leave the last fold to make this crease goes to this point. Just like that, and like that. Okay, crease sharply and unfold, and you have just made an 8x8 grid. Okay, so now for the collapse, we are going to turn this 8x8 grid into a 7x7 grid. This is the easiest flasher I know, and then you have the ISO area flasher that I may teach in a separate video. Each can be made from an 8x8 or 16x16 grid, but in this case we are making it into a 7x7 grid. So to do that, we just fold one flap like this, and then one flap over it, just like this. Nothing special, just a very simple fold, and we're going to turn the model over. Now I have my folds positioned here, so they're right here. It doesn't really matter, but this is just for reference. Okay, and now I am going to use a pencil for this reference just so it's easier. So we have this square right here, and I'm just gonna draw out the square. You can too if it's easier for you. I'm just doing this true guideline. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a line that goes from here through this point. I'll draw that out too. Just like this, and just like that. And then we're just going to repeat that. So we're just going to turn the model 90 degrees, and we're just going to keep on drawing these lines. If you don't want to draw these lines, you can just skip this part. I'm just doing it because it's easier. If you've never done a flasher before, then I would recommend drawing these lines. If not, and you just need to remember how to do it, you can go ahead and skip this part. But yeah, we're just drawing these lines. Okay, and now we basically have the whole flasher. So I'm going to turn it back over so that my lines, or my folds, are here and here, just because that's what I started with. And now we can begin collapsing. So we're just going to mountain fold on this entire line on this crease, basically just like that. And we're just going to fold up to this crease. It's just these 4 squares, and it should look something like that. And now we are going to mountain fold right here on these 3 squares. So we have this 3x4 grid that we have mountained, and what we're going to do is we're going to valley fold on this line, bringing these 2 points together. So it's like this, and then it should just line up like this. So if you flip it like this, it should line up perfectly, and then you should be able to fold on this line. So, and put your nail on it from behind, just like this, and crease sharply, and when you unfold, you should have the line folded, just like that. Okay? And now we are going to repeat that on all the other sides. So just like this, and this one's going to be easier for me because it's lighter, not as much layers, and just, I'm going to go a bit faster, just crease sharply. go ahead and slow down if you need to, or just pause the video, and yeah, you can catch up with us when you're done. So it should look something like this. Remember to crease sharply. And you see that there's this sort of cube forming. And again, pinch this right here, these 3 squares, and then fold it up on this crease. And it should also line up right here. And it should look like that. And I have one more left. And I'm going to unfold. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to unfold. I'll just show that this line is folded. And I'm going to fold this last one, pinching these 3 and belly folding it on this crease. Make sure that you don't fold it over, just on the points. Make sure that you could still see the entire square, none of it is folded in like that or anything. Just make sure that you still have this cube like form. And also this line should line up right here. That's another guideline. That's the good thing about this model. There are a lot of guidelines because that's why we made the 8x8 grid. So we would have a bunch of guidelines. Okay, so now we have this sort of structure. You could also just collapse it like this if you pushed it all together. It would form some sort of building like thing like this. I don't know. That actually looks pretty cool. But anyways, if you don't want a building as your final model, we're gonna unfold this. So we still have the lines. So it should look something like this. And now right here, we're going to reverse fold it up and then down. So you may be a bit confused by this, but we're just going to valley fold these 2 folds right here up, like this. And then fold it, not fold it on this crease, like this. That's the first reverse fold. And the second one should just naturally come in place like this. So it should look something like this, and we're going to repeat that on the other sides. I'll show it again for clarification. So we're mountain folding it, or valley folding it up on these lines, and mountain folding it on this line. So like this. We're pressing it up, so the paper goes up, and then it goes back down after mountain folding this crease, and then the fold goes back down. So down, up, and then down. And then when collapsed, it should look like this. And then we're going to repeat it on the last flap. So mountain fold these 2 valley fold these 2 flaps up like this. And then mountain fold right here. And then the last 2 folds naturally come into place, and we're just gonna squash this. And now we have something like this, and we are going to simply push these 2 all together, just like this. And then it naturally has some give right here, and it pushes back a bit, so just gently push it against the sides. And you just made a flasher. And then I'm gonna just pinch right here to give it some shape. And then when you take the 2 flaps right here and you open it and close it, it flashes. This is really cool because when you close it like this, it folds on this fold like that, and then it folds right here, and then it folds again. And this is part 1 of the expanding contracting model. And next I'll show you how to fold the 16x16 grid.